Hi guys, Ryu here from Blender Bros, and in this video I'm going to show you how to create easy sci-fi panels using HardOPS and Boxcutter for your hard surface models in Blender. Let's go. Now there are many ways of doing things using these add-ons, so basically doing things in Blender, and I'll show you two different ways of creating panels. Now one of them you may be aware of if you're using HardOPS and Boxcutter on a daily basis, but the other one I guarantee you do not know of. It's kind of a hidden tool, and not many people really know about it. Now speaking of add-ons and HardOPS and Boxcutter, if you really want to master these, and I think you should if you want to improve your hard surface game in Blender, then I highly recommend our new course, which is called Ultimate Guide to HardOPS and Boxcutter 2.0. This course is amazing. You have massive section on tools and menus, and trust me, these are all practical tools and practical approach to these tools. So you learn how to use them in practice with examples and all that. Then you are gonna put all this knowledge into practice. There is a modeling section where we're gonna be modeling this amazing truck. Then you have a bonus section number 1, which is gonna be detailing and texturing, rendering and editing the render you see on the screen. Then it's another bonus section that's all about advanced tools and settings for both add-ons that you may not know of, or probably don't, especially that the documentation is heavily outdated. So I'll wager that this course is the only up-to-date and complete source of knowledge on these two add-ons. And you also have a PDF file which is fantastic. It contains shortcuts and some tips on how to use these add-ons, kind of like a cheat sheet, so you can always reference it when you get lost. So the course is amazing. It's going to really help you master these two add-ons, and by mastering these add-ons you're going to be able to speed up your workflow about 8 times, which means you're going to save a tremendous amount of time, not to mention that you're going to have a lot of fun modeling, because artists, we like to go with the flow, and if we're gonna get stopped with technicalities, we kind of lose interest and we kind of lose this artistic drive. This wave kind of breaks, and it's difficult for us to continue, right? So these add-ons, once you learn them, and trust me, it's not difficult to learn them, you will be unstoppable. So go ahead, click the link in the video description, grab the course and enjoy. This course is brand new. It just dropped a week ago. Now going back to our video, let me show you the first way of adding panels, sci-fi panels to your models. It's really simple. Okay, so when I'm gonna have a cube added here, and I'm gonna go to edit mode, and by the way, to go to edit mode I'm using machine tools. If you don't use this, I don't get it. It's superb. The link is in the video description. And you can select these two faces, or or 3 faces, or however many faces you want, and you go to Cube menu with HardOPS and you shift click on curve extract. This will allow you to create a solidification on the plane. Now, few things are happening here when we running this tool. First of all, we are ripping off of the faces of this cube. So let me show you how this technically would look in vanilla Blender, right? What you would need to do is you would need to first Shift D this to duplicate it. Then right click to cancel, then press P and selection, which means you're gonna be separating this element from this element. So now you got 2 separate objects in your collection here. Then you would need to go to modifiers, go to generate, right? Click on solidification, which is gonna be here, and then solidify it whichever way you want. And that's basically what this tool is doing. So in a nutshell, this tool is in one click performing several operations, which will save you a ton of time, and it's really fun to work with. And this tool is not just for creating panels, you can also create curves. If you just click on curve extract without holding shift, you're gonna get this. Now this may not look amazing, but if I'm gonna go back and select these 2 edges and Control B them with a bevel like this, right? And then I'm gonna select these, these areas, and I'm gonna go with curve extract, you're gonna get this. So you can clearly see that you can create some really cool stuff very quickly with this tool, and there are many different, applications of it for hard surface. You can very quickly create, pipes like this, and when you are adjusting the thickness, press S, and you're good to go, and you got a pipe. So you can either run pipes, or you can run these panels I told you about, right? So you can go here, Q, hold shift and curve extract, and boom, then there's your solidification. Then you can obviously bevel it, at weighted normals, and you can continue with your workflow. And this is a very common way for me to create these panels. I use this method all the time when I'm modeling. It's really convenient and I love this tool. Like I said, this menu could be very intimidating when you first time open it, but you're not going to be using all these tools. You're going to get used to using specific tools. Some of these tools are very kind of a narrow use scenario. But again, in the course I mentioned in the beginning, the ultimate guide to HardOPS and Boxcutter 2.0, I'm explaining all of this in Q menu and much more than this. So you're going to have a very good understanding of these tools. And, like you can think, okay, I could use it in my workflow. That's great. This one I maybe not need it. And you can go back to the course later on and rewatch it if you're gonna need some tips on other tools, right? So that's one of the ways of creating panels, and like I said, this one is more common. Now let me show you the more uncommon way of creating panels. Let me just nuke these. There's a tool in Boxcutter called Recut, and Recut is a really interesting tool. When you're running a regular cut with a Boxcutter and go to X to slice, and you're gonna press Alt X, you will get the recut. Now here you can't see what's happening because this cube is just a cube. But watch what happens when I'm gonna slice it. Let's say with an end gun like this, right? I'm gonna slice this, and now watch. I'm going to let me just redo this cube very quickly because we got some flip normals over there. There we go. So we got this cube cut with a boolean, right? So I got this live boolean here, right, on this cube. Okay. Now I'm going to cut this here with a square cut again like this, and I'm gonna go with X. Now this is gonna be a regular slice which will slice out this piece out of this cube, but if I'm gonna press Alt X, I'm gonna recover this bit that was cut out with this handgun, and that's called recut. Okay, so you can create some really interesting stuff using this tool. Now, how do you use that tool to create panels? Well, you just need to use a different type of boolean with Boxcutter. So watch. If I'm going to be running a cut here and press X 3 times, I'm going to enter this tool called inset boolean, right? So if I press T now, I can solidify this in and out. And by the way, this in Blender takes about 5 minutes to create. I have a video on this showing you how to do it in vanilla Blender. And honestly, if you ask me to do it right now, probably I would need to think because it's so complicated. You need a PhD from freaking math, chaos mathematics or something. But anyway, I'm going to run this. Now, if I'm going to press Alt X with this tool being active, so while I'm still in this live cutter mode, Alt X and click, look what happens. I got a panel here on top that's exactly the same thickness as this inset boolean depth. So now I can adjust this cutter using solidification, right? In and out. But I also have this cutter here inside. Now you can't see that, but let me apply this and you'll see what I mean. So I'm going to apply this one with Smart Apply. I'm going to apply this one with Smart Apply, right? And watch. Right? Do you see what I mean? This recut tool in combination with inset boolean from Boxcutter is going to create a perfectly fitting panel into your mesh. And this is a 1-click or 2-click deal. With vanilla Blender, you would need to create a boolean, cut it out, then run a slice, but it's just a lot of work, right? This is a very quick tool because all you need to do again is go to inset mode and then Alt X for recut, space, done, right? And obviously all these cutters are live, so you can add a bevel, right? And you can just enjoy your modeling here, and you got this perfectly shaped panel here. Now remember, this is a live boolean, so what I can do is I can press G and I can adjust it live, right? So I can make it a bit smaller or thicker or whatever the hell I want, right, on whichever axis. So this is a second way I would approach creating panels in Blender using HardOPS and Boxcutter. This one, like I said, is a bit less known, but it's also really powerful. Anyway, that's it for this video. Hope you enjoyed it. And like I said in the beginning, if you want to master these two add-ons, grab our course, the ultimate guide to HardOPS and Boxcutter. The link is in the video description. The course is brand new, packed with valuable information, and is created based on 6 years of my experience using these add-ons every freaking day for personal projects, for professional projects, for our work, for Blender Bros. So, all my experience is there, and you don't have to figure out anything on your own. Everything is on the platter. So go ahead, get it, and enjoy. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.